Hey there, this is Angela. So I'm working on some balancy, illusiony stuff with my wand, specifically with long string. So I wanted to share what I'm doing. It's still a work in progress, but I thought maybe somebody could take it and improve on it or use it in their own practice. So I have a super long string, can't really see it too much on this. It's probably about arm span and then an extra forearm. That's what I like to spin. So if you do something shorter, this may not work for you, or it might actually work better because you have to do less reps. I typically anchor on my left shoulder, so I'm putting my arm through like a sleeve and then around the back of my neck. This is good for a lot of hands-free moves. I learned this from Aileen. And what I'm doing is instead of wrapping it around my body, which is what I usually do when I spin, I'm coming back around across my chest and then under my arm, so getting really tangled up here. And then to do this move, it's going to basically be catching the string around your arm so you don't have a lot of loose stuff hanging out, and then spinning, palm spinning up and doing some balance contact stuff. So I'm wrapping around my arm like once, twice, maybe 3 times to get a lot of string, till I get more of a shorter string. I guess this is still medium for most spinners. And then I'm wrapping it around the inside of my wrist so that it's staying tight on my whole arm. Like there's nothing loose here to catch or slack to slide around. And then, more wrapping, I'm going around my hand a couple times, maybe twice for me, until I have just a little bit. This is like half of a short string length right now. And then I'm wrapping around my thumb, getting rid of all that slack, like this. And then what you want to do is have enough so that you can rest the wand on top of your hand without it moving around. So I'm going to wrap it one more time around my thumb. And it's got a little bit extra. I'm going to actually go underneath my hand and probably my middle finger and then rest it. So now it's like not going anywhere. This is what it looks like from underneath. So I'm keeping all the tension using my thumb and the wrap underneath my fingers and the rest of my arm. So I'm like completely tied up right now. There's no slack. It's like a sleeve of wand string. So what I've been practicing is keeping the wand as level as you can get it, maybe about there, and then doing some illusion stuff as if you were balancing it on your hands. So to keep your arms level, you might want to use a mirror. I'm using my video right now. And it's basically sitting on top of my forearms. I like to put it in the crease of my elbow. It seems to be a nice resting spot. And then you're not going to have a ton of movement here, so you might want to adjust so that you can get a nice looking balance, not like up here or not like way down here, but like maybe right about here, chest height. And then what I like to do, just to keep everything from looking symmetrical and to keep my other hand from kind of flying off, I'm linking my thumbs and fingers or something just to keep these two hands together. And then you have this nice locked position. So right now I've got my wand all tied up. I've got it balanced on my arms, and it's kind of this nice starting pose for an act. This is the thing that I'm working on to start an act. That way I can let the string kind of out as I go. It's really hard to get into this wrap in motion. So I'll back up a little bit and show you what I'm doing. So I got my nice resting pose, and then you can do some fun stuff like just walk around and you get this illusion that you're very precariously balanced. It's not going anywhere. I can almost turn it upside down. It's gonna stay there. So it's a good part to build the act, the balancing contact part of your act before you actually set your wand in motion. And what I'm trying to do practicing is setting up so that I can easily get into a palm spin if I raise my arm up. So the way that I wrapped it is giving me this space here when I go to palm spin. So what I'm practicing right now is getting my hand up, letting go of that part in the finger, and getting here in a smooth motion so then I can just palm spin. This might actually have a little too much slack right now, but I'll work with it. Let's see. So it's a, there we go. That's a little better. That's more of a thumb spin, actually, but you get the idea. So, starting here, I've been working on doing some spins with it, doing some walks. Very nice, like, get some dancer poses. I'm not a dancer, but I'm trying to put some more dance into my act. And then this is a really nice thing that you can do, is you can start to lean it and keep the illusion that you're really controlling it. So I can go like this, or I can go like this. And if you work that into a bend or some kind of really nice motion, you got that cool effect. I'm personally working on this because I do a lot of spinning, I do a lot of motion, I don't do as many technical illusion stuff, so this is a fun one to throw in at the beginning before I really get going. So here's a little combination I've been working on. Starting like this, doing some side motion, doing some forward leaning, and that's not going anywhere, so you can really lean and get that. You can lean this way, do a couple bends with it, do some turning. This is the really nice one if I got my posture right. And then you can raise the levels. So you can't go down too much, or you're going to start to pull on your neck and on your arm. If you're not used to string being wrapped around you like this, it's going to take a little getting used to. And I would use a thicker string if you have it. That's what I do. It ruins the illusion a little bit, but it's more comfortable. And then just wear black. So this is a really good one to do with the ups and downs of maybe some music if it's building up. And then, if you're careful, I mean, you're still balancing it, but you can bring it up here. Very, very ballet kind of pose. And then do some spinning around. So just so you can see what my hands are doing. I've got them up. I'm still balancing on this one. This one is just there for the effect. And you can move and try and make sure this is straight. It's hard because I'm kneeling down right now. So up here, and then you can take this hand away, and you've got this really beautiful balance. Do some flourishes. If you're doing a lot of wand, you know that this is really the important hand. This is the illusion hand. So then you can kind of do a spin like that. Do some stuff with your hands, and then I've been working on taking this hand. The trick with this is that you know it's not going anywhere. Your audience thinks you're balancing it. So you want to keep that flat plane. If you're going like this, they're going to know something's up. So just really smooth motions, do some spinning, and then come back up, bring your hands together. And this is the part that I haven't quite got down yet, but I think it'll be really cool when you do. So when your hands are up there, taking this hand and rolling it over for that palm spin. So right now, what I need to get rid of is this hook. So I have to move this finger actually out behind my wand. And so what I've been working on is using my other hand to help that. So let me see if I can point this up a little bit better. So I'm up here, I'm a little angled, I'm up here, my hands are the balance point to the audience. Taking this hand, sweeping it in front, into almost a prayer position. And then you can do a smooth rotation up here and take it down. And then, see, I got a little too much slack here. And then if I had the slack right, that's going to take some time to really figure out. I've got my hands, they were here, they all did all their flippy stuff, and I'm ending here. If you can get that slack for your palm spin, you can start to do this stuff. And then down, back to a prayer. Right now, I've still got my hands wrapped up pretty good. I've got a little bit behind there, got some going on my thumbs. So it's really a puzzle to try and get back to a comfortable and slack-filled wand practice. So I like the prayer because you can keep that illusion while doing stuff back here. And you can start to do things like this. And maybe while you're doing some of this stuff, be unwrapping, doing something else. So the more body movement that you have going on, you're distracting from what's actually happening with your wraps in your hands. So for me, I want to get this hand down. So doing some kind of downward motion like that, maybe something like this. Then I can take this hand out. And we're coming back up here. Well, that was a little awkward, but you get the idea. And then you want to make sure you've got your slack so you can start doing some short string moves. One thing that I found helpful, I just started doing this tonight, so I don't know if it's actually a great strategy, but I started putting a little dot of hot glue right there so I can feel where the top of the wand is. There are not a lot of visual cues on this particular wand for me, and sometimes waiting to feel the balance is going to give you some weird pauses. So if I can feel it with my hand and the audience can't see it, that's even better. I know exactly where to grab with palm spins and with transitions and planes and stuff. So then I can come up here, you can do some of this, you can get right back into some short string. I want to unwrap my thumb because it's really tangled up there, so I can do some kind of motions, get back to this kind of stuff. And I even need to wrap a little bit more. So that's really, it depends on the length of your string, how fast you can get in and out of this. Then you can get right back. And the good thing about this long string is you can just start spinning and letting that slack go over your arm. You're not going to have to do some weird chickeny movement to get it out. So you can really just unwind, rewrap if you like to, get around your body. And I've still got my arm happening here, so it's going to take a little bit more. But that's the idea. I hope you enjoy it. I'd love to hear what you think. I don't know if many people are doing this particular style before, so I'd love to hear if you are. I use a very long string. I do a lot of wraps, and so I'm trying to think of good ways to wrap and release from those wraps without getting into a huge tangle. So thanks for watching.